What's good, y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. Yo, wow. It's Friday. First and foremost, let's get all the cool stuff out the way. It's Friday, payday, you know what I'm saying, grind day. Like I always tell y'all, listen, get at it, get to it. For y'all that was on the bi-weekly last week, feel me? If y'all got y'all checks this week, y'all made some extra bread, put it to the side, save it for a rainy day because you do not know what's ever going to happen. Today, man, we talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. And the topic of today's discussion is Lil Durk. So, yo, a couple of days ago, you know what I'm saying, we gave Durk praise on his channel because he had did, his birthday bash. And he had a lot of, he had the collage of, all the fallen artists. And this is that and the third. And now it seems like he kind of felt what was coming down. So, yo, before we get into what Durk is charged with, because they just picked up Durk, going to talk about, five people. Five people in Chicago have been hit with federal charges in California alleging that they were contracted to kill rapper Quando Rondo in Los Angeles due to his suspected involvement in the 2020 slaying of rival artist King Von. You know what I'm saying? They also put out this in the report that the indictment alleges that the five have ties to OTF, Only the Family, a hip-hop collective founded by Southside rapper Lil Durk, a mentor of King Von. You know what I'm saying? The flights and the rental cars were paid for with credit cards linked to OTF accounts according to the prosecutors, right? So when I first seen this, man, I was really thrown off. The reason why I was really thrown off is because immediately I'm like, man, like how idiotic could people possibly be if, something is going down and they're using credit cards and flights and all of that. And then, I was chilling, just cooling out, and I seen the bomb get dropped, right? Lil Durk has been picked up by the feds for murder for hire. So, yo, basically states that Lil Durk has been, arrested by the U.S. Marshals and held in Broward County Correctional Facility until he's extradited to California for his federal charge. His charge is murder for hire for the death of Quando Rondo cousin, Lil Pop. So, wow, yo, like grand opening, grand closing. First and foremost, I'm gonna get right to it. When the feds get on you, especially for something like this, the feds don't come after you when they don't have evidence, when they don't have a case. To see that Lil Durk is, picked up for something like this, I wanna go into it because as much as it's a surprise, it's really not. The internet is always screaming, slide for Von, slide for Von. You know what I'm saying? You ain't sliding for Von. You ain't doing this, that, and the third. Academics talked about this with, with Durk on his podcast. And now that the reality is setting in, you feel me? Like, I dare to ask the question of you young ones, like, is this what y'all want? Because this is exactly the consequences and repercussions of the streets. Now, on one hand, you know what I'm saying, you have all of these dudes. Now, look, honestly, I believe that somebody's got to be an informant in this. For this to go down like this, for it to be, happening the way it's happening, somebody has to be informing somebody. I don't know if it's like one of the five or whomever, but the feds, they always going to put the squeeze on somebody. You can't show me there's not one gang or organization that doesn't have, and all the respectable ones, like, listen, you could go through every single respectable gang and organization through time, you know what I'm saying? All the people that people praise and all that, they all have people who told. And the thing about this is, like, you really going to see where this is going to lead. I think that, like, honestly, if this is the end of Lil Durk, this is a horrible, horrible way to go out. And I think that, like, on that we talking about allegations, right? We talking about allegations, but again, let me reiterate that the feds don't come after you unless they have a case. They take time to build a case. They take time to get their witnesses together. They take time to get their evidence together. They have, a lot of people talk about what's the number of their conviction rate. It's in the 90s. I don't want to say the wrong number. I'm going to just say that the feds, when they get you, they got you. One of my friends, you know what I mean, my best friend, in fact, he just ended up going to the feds, and his lawyer basically told us when we was, you know what I mean, at court for him that they ain't got to catch you to catch you. I'm saying, like, they really don't got to catch you to catch you. So all that means is that, like, they not coming unless they got, you know, something on you. Now, let's get back to the internet, right? And getting involved in street business. Now, there's been this, like, unhealthy obsession with everybody from YouTubers to bloggers to, I don't know what it is with the, you know what I mean, the white dudes that's, like, so ingrained and so, like, dedicated to the stories that happen throughout the streets. But this whole situation with Quando Rondo and King Von happened, you know what I mean, what, almost 5 years. Next year it'd be 5 years that King Von is gone. You know, King Von had a reputation for being, you know what I mean, one of them ones when it came to the streets. He had some problems with Quando Rondo. You know, he saw him at the night of his, you know, his album release party. And this is what kind of bugs me out about the whole situation, is because, you know, King Von was just, he was a person to me that just seemed like a skyrocket. You know, you light a skyrocket, it go up in the air, you don't know which way it's gonna go, and it's gonna go everywhere. Now, when he seen, you know, Quando Rondo, he jumped on him. His man, Lil Tim, jumped out. He did whatever he did. I, to this day, have never watched that video, and I never will watch it because I've never watched that video. I've never watched the Nipsey video. I don't like to see black men, I don't care if they're criminals or not, I don't like to see them lose their lives, and especially the way that we slaughter each other. One of the biggest things that I always have about this is like, we always quick to jump in the police ass about whatever it is, how they handle us, how they do us or whatever, but we treat each other like worse than anybody. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. Now, of course, after, you know, King Von passed away, there was like this, I'm not gonna say a pressure, right? But you can look at it from one type of way. I think that, you know, if, you know, Lil Durk did partake in something like this, it's definitely ego. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely this whole mentality of, you know what I mean, revenge. And that's what we thrive off of, right? The get back. We can't tolerate somebody disrespecting us. We can't tolerate somebody, you know what I mean, having one up on us. We got to get one up on them. The cycle continues until there's nobody left. I seen a quote one time that says, an eye for an eye leaves the world blind. And that shit stuck out to me, right? So right now, I mean, I honestly, I can't say I can't believe, because I can't believe, but I can believe. I mean, you know, Durk is gearing up to drop, you know, an album. I seen that he posted 11/22 is the date that he's going to be dropping this album. But, man, for him to be picked up on something like Murder for Hire, this is not no joke. It's just this cycle, man. It's the cycle. And I think Quando Rondo is also, he has to, you know, turn himself in, if he hasn't already, for some drug charges he had in Savannah. Now, again, when, you know, Quando Rondo's little cousin passed away, you had the internet, and this is why I be saying, man, I'm not, I said it about, I just dropped my phone, excuse me, y'all. But I said it about J. Cole. I said it about, I'm saying it now about Durk. I can't say if this is true or not, but I think that people get pressured, man. People get pressured in different instances or ways. Punch, you know what I'm saying, had Punch from TDE. There was a tweet that went up from Eric, you know what I mean? Eric is a journalist, and he basically said that he talked to his therapist about Punch's tweet about journalism and all of that, and I'm going to keep it 100. Yo, like, Eric, bro, I'm just going right here.
Buck up, Bart! Buck
exactly, up! Bro, like, buck up. You got to get a little bit stronger. You got to get some more pep in your step, bro. Like, so anyway, Punch basically said, if you're feeling that way, could you imagine how artists feel when you journalists write or say certain things about them? And of course, I could understand it, but now, right now, it's like everybody's reacting in real time. On one hand, this is a travesty for all. It's not just one, like when you think of these rappers, it's not just one rapper or one person that's involved. These dudes is head of their households. These dudes are the providers. These guys are the ones who, like, can put their teams in position or their people in position to be taken care of for the rest of their life. But we're not going to excuse actions, right? At the same time that they are, you know, the heads of households, a lot of them know better. At the point where, you know, they have these opportunities and they forsake them, they know better, bro. And I think that the internet pressure, along with the street pressure, along with the guys and everybody around you, people looking at you like, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the drop. What we gonna do? Like, we not gonna let them have one up on us. An eye for an eye leaves the world blind. And this is just disgusting. I'll say this. When I see young black men, I'm not from Chicago, not from Georgia, from New York, but moving around and going to different places, going to, to places where it's poverty, we all got the same stories, man. Like, it's so many friends that I got that's in prison for making these same type of decisions. And all I could say is like, what's it worth? Because one of my friends, my brother Manny, gotta shout him out because he paid his debt to society. He did 20 years between being behind bars and being on papers. And, he was active in them streets. He was letting that thing go, you feel me? And I remember him calling me one day and telling me like, yo, Wayne, in the first time in 20 years, I actually belong to myself. I ain't got an answer to no authorities. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm off papers. I'm out of jail and I'm off papers. And he was so elated. And he just basically told me like, yo, bro, I don't want no more parts of the streets. But I hate that my brother had to go through all of those 20 years and the trials and tribulations. And he put hurt on people too. I'm not just going to excuse like my homies. As much as I love my friends, some of my friends is the most horrible people on the planet. I'm just keeping it 1,000, you feel me? And I'm not going to excuse, you know what I mean, the pain and the hurt that he might have put on somebody else. But I hate that a lot of us got to get hurt to learn. Like, it's just so unfortunate that we got to go down these dark and crazy paths in order for us to get the lessons that's right in front of us. Right in front of us. I'm not going to lie, you know what I'm saying? Whether Durk, participated in this or not, because I'm not going to say he did, because it still has to be proven in court. It looks extremely bad. I'm disappointed in him either way. I mean, for these dudes that they're booked, and I ain't gonna lie, man, Durk might be over after this. He might be over after this. You feel me? Not might be. He is. If he gets convicted of something like this, he's over with. And for all of these dudes that was repping that brand, there's so many different things that they could have did with an OTF. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. I was on their seating list, man. I just was looking in one of my closets today. I still got my Durky old cereal. You feel me? Of course, can't eat the shit, but I still got that because they was always, sending me, gifts and stuff and showing me love. It's so many things that could have been done with those 3 letters, OTF. Only the family. Only the family. And now you got these dudes that's, locked up, you know what I'm saying, and, facing prosecution over murder. And this is what I say about that when it comes to all the things that they could have did. These things can be done. But who's going to rise up and make the decision? Who's going to be the one that's man enough to say, yo, you know what? We done lost enough. We ain't losing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to be the one? I just, as much as, this is very fresh and we got a long way to go to see how this plays out, I don't see, the young kids that's living that life seeing this and saying, oh, nah, man, I ain't going to front. Like, the guy that I looked up to is in that predicament. Maybe I shouldn't go down this path. I see a lot of them saying, well, he got caught. I ain't going to get caught. And it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart to see how, like, we treat each other, how, we have no remorse, how the cycle still continues. I mean, I got my first friend I ever had in my life, you know what I'm saying? My little brother, Tamari, you know what I mean? Tamari Proctor. Tattooed on my arm. He got murdered when he was 17, you know what I'm saying? And I got too many to tattoo on me. It's too many that we done lost, you feel me? So, I mean, ultimately, this is bad, and it's going to get even worse before it gets better. I don't even see this getting better, honestly. That allegation over his head, especially with the, we had a time where they could use these lyrics, they can use reference points, they can use all these. And let me tell y'all this. The dudes who's operating in these spaces, a lot of them, while people try to revere like these dudes in the street, like they these superheroes that's untouchable, that nothing can happen to, a lot of them, they don't even have the intelligence level of a 5th grader. Not even trying to be funny or shit on nobody. Let's just be for real. A lot of them don't think things through. A lot of them lack critical thinking skills. A lot of them is just group thinkers. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, something's wrong. We all got to do something. No, a lot of people aren't rational in the room. And a lot of these dudes, they blame it on having OGs. Beyond the OGs, because a lot of OGs, not only did they fail the youth, but they failed themselves. When are we going to start being accountable? When are we going to start looking around and saying enough's enough? When are we going to start looking at one another and saying, damn, I see some value in, you know what I mean? If I see value in myself, I got to see value in this person. When is this imaginary code, you know what I'm saying? How long is it going to be upheld? Because I said that on the, you know, on that's debatable with Ray Daniels about how all these dudes, you know what I mean, they be talking all the street shit till they get them claims put on them. You get in that interrogation room and they start throwing them football numbers at you and you start thinking about your girl, you start thinking about your moms and your kids. All that gang code went out the window, but you want to know why? Because it wasn't a code to begin with. All this shit is fake. All this shit is fluff. You feel me? And it's trapping and destroying our people. I'm going to just say this, man. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we do. And for the ones that don't, eventually you will. This is how I do it myself. Got a lot to work on, man. Us as a people. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.